shocker, the FBI lied, and we, the gun-owning citizens of America, have stopped more major incidents than they really want to give us credit for. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, where freedom has a voice. If you're new here, my name is Jared, and this channel covers everything the mainstream media won't tell you about your Second Amendment rights, your firearms, and what really is happening in America's Second Amendment world. Today's report I have is a big one. I've been working on it for a few days, and I think it's going to open some eyes here. The FBI has been publishing data for years that supposedly tells us how often armed citizens stop active shooters. But now, new evidence shows they've been massively undercounting, and the real numbers might be 10 times higher in our favor. Now, real quick, I know a lot of you out there like to repair or modify your own firearms. If you're looking for a way to get your hobby to the next level, Sonoran Desert Institute can help you. The online programs at SDI cover armorist courses, gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking and finishes, shooting sports management, drone stuff, and more. Plus, tools and materials are shipped directly to your door for hands-on practice. It's never been a better time to get an education that you can actually use on the job and make some money. So what are you waiting for? Visit sdi.edu/GNG to learn more. Links are down below. All right, let's break this down, exactly what's going on and what the data actually shows and why this matters to every single responsible gun owner in America. So here's what the FBI has been saying for years. From 2014 through 2024, their reports claim that armed citizens stopped only 14 out of 374 active shooter incidents. That comes out to 3.7%. Now, you've probably heard that number before. It's one that the anti-gun politicians love to just vomit everywhere. They use it to argue that ordinary people with firearms rarely stop mass shooters and that civilian intervention is risky or ineffective. But what most people don't realize is how the FBI actually defines an active shooter. They only count shootings in public places, excluding anything connected to robberies, gang activity, or other crimes. And they even exclude incidents where a potential attacker was stopped before shots were fired. So, right off the bat, the definition cuts out a huge part of the real-world picture. And to top it off, the FBI even admits that their reports are not comprehensive. They say that they're not intended to capture all active shooter incidents. Well, then why put out the frickin' stats? That's a big caveat, and one that matters a lot once you see what the real data actually shows. Enter my friend Dr. John Lott, Jr. from the Crime Prevention Research Center, or the CPRC. Now, he went back, way back, through 10 years of data, the same time frame that the FBI used, and compared public records, local news, police reports, and other sources. And what they found was shocking. The FBI, according to CPRC, either missed or misclassified hundreds of cases. In total, CPRC identified 561 active shooter type events compared to the FBI's 374. That means that the Bureau left out roughly 187 incidents. Now here's where it gets wild. Of those 561, the CPRC found 202 of them were stopped by armed citizens. That's not 3%, that's 36%. A huge difference, over a third. Let that sink in. 36% of active shooter events ended because a citizen, not law enforcement, intervened. Why? Because we're the ones who are there. Cops take 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to get there. Think of how many bad things can happen in 15 or 20 minutes. And the CPRC says that FBI ignored at least 42 incidents entirely and misclassified another 145. They even discovered cases where civilians stopped attacks without firing a shot, and those weren't counted at all. So why are the FBI's numbers so low and CPRC's so high, you might ask? Well, critics say it comes down to 5 big issues. Number 1, the FBI's narrow definition excludes too many cases. If the shooter had another motive, robbery, domestic dispute, then it's tossed out, even if it was a public shooting. Number 2, misclassification. Some cases were counted, but the FBI didn't credit the armed citizen even when witnesses and the police confirmed it. Number 3, no-shot interventions. If a citizen pulled a gun and stopped the attack without firing, then it doesn't count according to the FBI. Number 4, but if the FBI stops a mass shooting before any shots are fired, they always take credit for it. But for the little guys, you don't get any credit. Back to 4. Number 4, media bias. Many of these defensive uses never make national news. They're only covered locally, so they never hit the FBI's radar. And number 5, institutional inertia. What do I mean? Well, the Bureau has been told about these missing cases, but they've been slow to fix their reports. The result is a distorted national narrative that makes it seem like armed citizens almost never help, when in reality, we are stepping up far more often than we're told. Now, to be fair, the FBI's strict definition does have some benefits. It's consistent, it's standardized, and it avoids overcounting. But that consistency only matters if the definition itself isn't hiding the truth. Dr. Lott over at CPRC's broader approach might not be perfect, but it reflects the real-world experience of armed self-defense far better than the FBI's numbers. Now, when you include all relevant incidents, especially those in which citizens acted before police arrived, the picture drastically changes. 36% is not a rounding error. That's an entirely different story about who's saving lives during active shootings. And it's us, we the people. So what does this mean for real life and for the gun rights debate? Well, first, it proves that us, the lawful gun owners, can and do save lives. If you're carrying responsibly, if you're trained, you're aware, you could be the difference between chaos and safety before law enforcement ever arrives. Now, second, it challenges the foundation of the anti-gun policy arguments, shatters them. Politicians love to say that good guys with guns are a myth, but when you look at this data, it's extremely clear, crystal clear, that that myth has more truth to it than the FBI's version does. Third, it underscores how media coverage shapes perception. When citizen interventions are ignored, the public starts believing that they don't happen, which then fuels more restrictions, more gun-free zones, and less preparedness. And that brings us to one of CPRC's most powerful findings, in my opinion. When you exclude gun-free zones, the percentage of active shootings stopped by armed citizens isn't 36%. It jumps even higher to about 64%. In other words, when law-abiding Americans are told that they can carry, they're allowed to carry, they stop the bad guys almost 2/3 of the time. This matters because bad statistics lead to bad policy. When federal agencies publish incomplete data on purpose and media outlets repeat it without question, the American public is misled. It paints us, the responsible gun-owning Americans, as irrelevant or dangerous when the truth is we're often the first line of defense. Not often, we're always the first line of defense. And the more that truth gets buried, the easier it becomes for gun control clowns to push for bans, restrictions, and limitations, all under the false impression that armed citizens don't make a difference. But we know better. And now, thanks to CPRC's work, we have the data to prove it. So, here's the takeaway. The FBI says 3.7%. The CPRC says it's 36%. That's not a small difference. That's the truth versus the narrative. If you found this report useful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Carry your gun because we have proof beyond reasonable doubt that we are the difference makers. And this kind of content gets buried by this algorithm that hates this channel for whatever reason. So your support helps more than you actually know. Please like the video, share it, subscribe, make a comment, and tell people what's really going on and help more people see the facts about how guns really do save lives. In the comments, tell me what you think about this. Do you trust the FBI's data or the independent review from CPRC? Should these reports be audited? Should the public demand corrections? Let me know down below. And as always, stay safe, stay armed, and stay free. God bless you. I love y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.